5 absurdly strong animals. More powerful than a silverback, males of the mountain gorilla species that have reached maturity are called silverbacks. The strength-to-weight ratio of silverback gorillas is among the highest of any living animal. You would think of a gorilla's strength in terms of its ability to lift or move, but these rainforest giants also boast one of the strongest bites in the world. The mountain gorilla can bite with 1,300 psi of force, giving it a weapon it can keep hidden until needed. What's more, they're even more formidable in terms of raw strength. A gorilla's strength is roughly 10 times its weight, and the combined strength of just 2 mature silverbacks is greater than that of 20 human beings. On the bench press, a silverback gorilla could indeed bench press 4,000 pounds, whereas a highly trained human male has a maximum of 885 pounds. One gorilla was able to hoist up to 1,800 pounds, according to the Guinness Book of World Records. So, how does the strength of a silverback gorilla stack up against the rest of the animal kingdom? Below we will be exploring 5 absurdly strong animals more powerful than a silverback gorilla. Strength can be quantified in various ways, and this generalization holds true throughout the animal kingdom. This article will focus on several factors such as strength-to-weight ratio, bite force, grip, and overall power. 1. African bush elephant, strongest overall. African bush elephants can lift 1,300 dalarsbis, or 9,000 talar a kilo. Not only are they the largest land animals, reaching up to 4.5 meters in height and 12 tons in weight, but their trunks include 40,000 tendons and muscles and can carry over 660 lbs, or 300 kilo. This makes them the strongest animal on Earth. In addition to their massive size, African bush elephants remain infamous for their impressively long tusks, which may reach lengths of more than 2 meters, and are utilized for excavating, fending off predators, and settling territorial disputes. 2. Saltwater crocodile, strongest bite force. The biggest of the crocodilian species, saltwater crocodiles, or Crocodilus porosus, can weigh up to 1,000 pounds. They have the strongest bite of any animal, and are one of the world's deadliest creatures. In fact, saltwater crocodiles are responsible for up to 1,000 annual human fatalities. This crocodile can reach up to 23 feet long and has a biting force of 3,700 psi. These terrible killers can weigh more than a ton and are even deadlier than sharks, including the great white. 3. Polar bear, strongest land-based carnivore. Due to the polar bear's superior size and strength, it is the world's largest and most powerful land carnivore. The polar bear would almost certainly kill the gorilla if the two ever met. The polar bear is a top predator that lives only above the Arctic Circle and has previously been linked to a few fatal attacks on people. Depending on their size, male polar bears can reach anywhere from 770 to 1,700 pounds and are as tall as 7.8 feet while standing on their hind legs. With just its jaws, a polar bear might kill a gorilla. A polar bear would also have the upper hand against a gorilla if it could use its mass to exert force or toss the ape off balance. 4. Dung beetle, highest strength-to-weight ratio. Even when compared to larger creatures, some little animals are quite impressive due to their high strength-to-weight ratio. Considering this, the dung beetle emerges as the strongest animal, with the ability to lift more than 1,000 times its own weight. They utilize their horns to defend themselves from rival dung beetles, which may be where they gain their formidable strength. Dung beetles are common all over the world, and they get their name because they feast on the waste of other creatures. 5. Coconut crab, strongest overall grip. Coconut crabs are the largest land-dwelling crustaceans on Earth, reaching lengths of up to a meter. The largest coconut crab ever caught weighed a whopping 4 kilos or almost 9 pounds. Strong enough to lift over 66 lbs, they got their moniker by tearing apart coconuts for food. Until recently, it was unknown just how powerful a grip from this crab's claw can be. It has now been established that the coconut crab possesses the strongest grip of any known species. The Okinawa Tsurashima Foundation in Japan found that the pinching power of a coconut crab is directly proportional to its size. Scientists extrapolated their findings to suggest that this crab could pinch with a pressure of 3,300 newtons. That equals almost 750 pound force, which is over 10 times stronger than a human hand. Ouch. In conclusion, if strength is a criterion, the silverback gorilla must be considered one of the strongest animals on Earth overall. Its incredibly muscular and long arms give it an advantage in strength that exceeds 6 times that of a human. However, there are clearly a lot of variables to think about when assessing strength. For instance, it can get tricky even if you only consider grip strength. For example, a full-grown anaconda or boa constrictor would have the strongest overall body grasp. However, the silverback chimpanzee comes out on top for the strongest finger grip strength when it comes to creatures with fingers. Then there is fight strength, which would need to include the animal's general stamina, size, and ability to use its weapons, i.e. teeth and claws. With this in consideration, hopefully, you could learn more about the extraordinary power of silverback mountain gorillas and other creatures that can hold their own against the gorilla in various strength categories. Honorable mention. King Kong takes the prize in strength. Even if the 5 animals we looked at can compete with a silverback gorilla in terms of strength, none of them are a match for the largest animal of all time, King Kong. Since its first appearance in 1933, the giant monster primate King Kong has entertained moviegoers for decades. King Kong has even been referred to as the 8th wonder of the world. A list of the King Kong movies includes King Kong, 1933, The Son of Kong, 1933, King Kong vs. Godzilla, 1962, King Kong Escapes, 1967, King Kong, 1976, remake, King Kong Lives, 1986, King Kong, 2005, second remake, Kong Skull Island, 2017, Godzilla vs. Kong, 2021. King Kong's creator Marion C. Cooper saw him as a gorilla. When he was only 6 years old, he developed a fascination for gorillas after being given a book in 1899 called Explorations and Adventures in Equatorial Africa. The book documented the journeys of the French-American anthropologist, zoologist, and traveler Paul Duchaillu to Africa. There were stories in the book of gorillas, including an exceptionally large one, which the African natives viewed as the invincible king of the African forest. Also in the book, the author described an encounter with a gorilla as a hellish dream creature, half man, half beast. As an adult, Cooper got involved in the Hollywood film industry and set about creating what he called a terror gorilla picture. He created a giant gorilla who would fight with warplanes and climb the tallest building in New York, the Empire State Building. He developed the end of the movie before the entire story had been fleshed out, saying of it, "Without any conscious effort of thought, I immediately saw in my mind's eye a giant gorilla on top of the building." It was determined by a fan of the amazingly powerful King Kong, with superior mathematical skills, that if a normal full-grown gorilla is capable of bench pressing 4,000 pounds, then a ratio comparison to the size of King Kong would come out to him being able to bench press 16.6 million pounds. That is one strong gorilla, even if he is fictitious. Summary of the 5 absurdly strong animals more powerful than a silverback.